All right, in this video, we're going to take a look at the other type of transformations that we learned about yesterday in the Desmos with reflections. So remember, the definition for reflection is that it's just a flip or the mirror image of a figure over a line. And yesterday we looked at two particular instances where we reflected over the x-axis and the y-axis. So first we're going to look at an example over the x-axis, and then we'll practice with the y-axis. For our first example here, I just want to make sure that we are highlighting that x-axis there. So use a highlighter, make sure you really identify that, because that'll help you when you're flipping it over and making a mirror image of your triangle. So the example I have is reflect triangle ABC over the x-axis. Remember, when you're reflecting over the x-axis, the rule from the pre-image to the image is that the coordinates, the x value stays the same and the y value just changes its sign. So if I list the coordinates for triangle ABC, A is at -8, 7, B is at -2, 6, and C is at -7, 3. To reflect that over the x-axis, all I need to do is change the sign of the y values in those coordinates. So A to A prime becomes -8, 7. The x value stayed the same, the y value changed. Same thing with the b's. We're staying at -2, but then to get to b prime, the y value changes to -6. And then finally, for c to c prime, it goes from 3 to -3. Take a minute and make sure you get that all down in your notes. Make sure you highlighted that x-axis there. The other thing we practiced yesterday with reflections was over the y-axis. Again, using your highlighter, make sure you identify the y-axis. The y-axis is the vertical axis in a coordinate plane, so I just highlighted that in yellow. We discovered yesterday the rule when you're reflecting over the y-axis is that now this time the x values change their sign and the y values stay the same. So if I'm reflecting triangle ABC over the y-axis, I'm going to list the coordinates again. So it's the same coordinates as the problem above. Point A is at -8, 7. Point B is at -2, 6. And point C is at -7, 3. When I reflect that over the y-axis, all I'm doing is changing the sign of my x values. So from A to A prime, that 8 becomes, the -8 becomes +8. I'm just going to make that clear that that's a coordinate here. So A to A prime, the -8 turns into +8, and then the 7 stays the same. It stays at the same height. For B to B prime, the -2 changes its sign to become +2, still stays at the same height of 6. And for C to C prime, the -7 changes to +7, and the 3 stays the same as the y value. That's reflecting over the y-axis. So make sure you have these down, and then now see if you can try some of those practice problems.